me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy scandal, we can't buy time. You can't fool me again. Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. Hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. You touch up line and a resort to crime. You can't fool me again.
What people do in no money, what they at you, in no at you. Could be money, miss away in the year, make a rat you. Use the youth, the money, waste, and must have man statue. Say me like a cashew, but bigger than a figure you. Take this print of money, girl, and say that it's not you. One day, the man above end up, him, I got stop it. Too much it in the kitchen, some fly well like a patu. When singers and DJs and social media's coming at you.
It burn me.
300% free.
It burn me.
Garbage pile up the day.
It burn me.
Give the teacher them raise.
It burn me.
I see corruption please.
It burn me.
Mash down the people them house.
It burn me.
Every day appear arms out.
It burn me.
Appear money them a thief.
It burn me.
And them a sell out the beach.
Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy scandal, we can't buy time. You can't fool me again. Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. You touch up line and a resort to crime. You can't fool me again.
Come me say big up all the charities and all of the givers. Some a go like say them powerful, me no make a bigger. The urgent the promises, none of them not deliver. Cut up the youth, they rap and they down in a whatever. Member bowl only and they lie them tell. Corruption smell and they pocket them swell. When police don't a market like Satan out of hell, go mash up people start like thief when them sell.
It burn me.
Or they treat the market man.
It burn me.
Or them a treat the cat man.
It burn me.
Or they treat the peanut man.
It burn me.
Or them a treat the dirt man.
It burn me.
Or them a treat the son man.
It burn me.
Or them a treat policeman.
It burn me.
Or them a treat soldier man.
It burn me.
How them a treat everyone.
Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy scandal, we can't buy time. You can't fool me again. Can't fool me again.
Stevie dim day. We in Global TV says certain kind of friend we no cape. And some informer friend we love Lake. We in Global, bona fake friend and bona tape. We in Global, we not promote them, we not support them. Look at them on the cheek, come here represent for. We in Global TV, check it.
Good evening, and welcome to the People's Point of View. It is your favorite station, the Global Television Point of View. The Global Television group, rather. Sorry. Tonfulia this evening. Welcome to Andrew Gots to Go. Not just Andrew Gots to Go, the entire JLP Gots to Go. There's nobody there to hold back each other, to scold each other, to advise each other. Therefore, the entire bucket gots to go. Because it's quite a slimy bucket now, you know. Good evening, everybody, to my community of parity, all my family members, platform moderators, membership holders, viewers, subscribers, commenters, and trolls. Good evening. Darrell Vaz say, in confident, that he will retain East Portland. Darrell Vaz from PNP assigned them East Portland candidate. Darrell Vaz in a hissy fit. Darrell Vaz all wants so to speak about his visa in a belittling way. Darrell Vaz say, may I go win back Portland? I bet you me buy a member a 14 million. Me take and buy it. And if it take me 28, I'd go buy it back again. Because JLP knows that they can't win free and fair election. So even when of them one, total one, they have election with you. Them still turn round and a defraud themselves. So that's why you see them a rile up themselves because them know say their money is not enough to go up against the East Portland candidate because people want a change. People want representative. People tired of the mall and the bad road and the lack of water and the general lack of representative across your constituency, plural constituencies. Because both East and West Portland, you have the people them under a political apartheid, where everything is about your interests, Darrell Vaz. It was because of your selfish interests why you jump on plane, go to Mexico, go pick up how much amount of money, come back and share it for you and Andrew. And the US scrap your visa. Now you are going to tell your lawyer, sir. I wonder if they know what disparaging mean. I wonder if Darrell Vaz and his legal team really know what disparaging mean. Don't you think that would be quite a thanky word for the family of Diane Smith? Is everything them a try to shut we down pan now? We not to talk anymore. Everybody for just go along with JLP criminal organization. The government is pulling out all the stuff he can to make sure to muzzle all of us. Everything must be in favor of this government. When a government decides to use the court as a tool of suppression, it cannot get more uglier for democracy. The court is the guardian of our constitution, the guardian of our democratic framework. But I hope the court good senses prevail in the court. And she said, this prime minister is just making a vexatious application. The prime minister is just vexed because of the Integrity Commission report doesn't support him. The prime minister only hypocritically accepts one aspect of the report. Only the one aspect where the director of corruption prosecutor, Keisha, refused to refer him to prosecution. That's the only bit the prime minister is prepared to accept. Everything else is faulty, unlawful, unfair, unconstitutional. You cannot have a leader which is so NIMBYized and petulant, where when it doesn't go his way, the baby gets thrown out with the bathwater. And the Prime Minister turn round and go walla in the wet mud after and kick over both the baby and the bath water because it must be my way. You must give me a character that I don't have. And before the whole on go stuck on her head and that sun, here come Darrell Vaz gyrating around. I have instructed my lawyer to take action over disparaging remarks, disparaging, degrading, belittling. Okay, when it comes to the word degrading, there is a legal argument in the word degrading. We're going to use the synonyms, we're going to go into other synonyms to find a legal case for your Darrell Vaz. All right? We have to synonymize Mr. Vaz to help you to create a legal argument. Because nowhere in the law have I come across disparaging to be in any legal principle, exception, or whatever it might be. So let us synonymize. Let us change the word disparaging, Mr. Vaz, for degrading. All right? So when you switch over to human rights law, the Article 3 area of human rights law, I think it is Article 2, I think, Article 2, prohibition on degrading and unfair torture and degrading treatment. But even if we're to use the degrading treatment part, Darrell Vaz, how would us speaking of a visa, the type of visa that you have, bear in mind, Darrell Vaz, that information is factual. We're not making it up. When we say the US removed your diplomatic visa, we're not making it up. That's factual. So get back to disparaging. How then you and your lawyer, sometimes they're going to say, but sometimes they glean enough to publish certain things. But then again, you must call out dunce. And good that the gleaner can come tell we say, you're that dunce to go talk such nonsense. I would like to speak to your lawyer and ask him how am I going to dress up the disparage? If I'm going to take off the this and use the source of disparage or disparaging, which part of it you are going to use because the whole of it don't work. The whole of the disparaging part don't work. But what about Heather? Not Heather, Diane. What about Diane Sinnott, Darrell Vaz? What about her? What about her family, Mr. Vaz? Do you think her family feels disparaging? Do you think Diane Smith's family think that what happened to her was a disparaging thing, or was it a cruel thing, Mr. Vaz? What was done to Diane Smith? Was it disparaging, or was it a cruel thing? When you went to Mexico to pick up the how much money per private jet, and you fly back in and you share the money for your Andrew, which led the US to remove the visa where you don't want to talk about. Was that disparaging, Mr. Vaz, or was it criminal? Was it disparaging or was it criminal? But the same disparate visa what we're talking about, of course the US gave you back a visa, but you don't get back the visa where you claim or where the other one should have. So why on earth you think to say, even if your lawyer them couldn't issue 1,000 defamation, it will stop fool like me from talk. Remember, say idiot no know when you say tappinizing or fish shut up, sir. Remember, say when you tell an idiot fish shut up, the idiot don't know what you mean. Careful when you remember say me an idiot. So don't think to say on a lawsuit, I'm gonna make me afraid to ask you say what happened to Diane Simmons? Who else helped you and your father, Douglas Vaz, to cover up the rape and the murder of Diane Simmons, Darrell Vaz? On a sitting minister, on an energy minister, because same way, when James Robertson was energy minister, James Robertson just a walk on an order killing of Dick, Tom, Harry, and Gwen. And Paula and Patrick Bailey was there to assist in the cover-up. Given that in a Patrick Bailey house, Duppy walked in with knife and gun, stab a man 22 times and shot him. And the Duppy just walk back. You know, say Duppy no need key. Duppy no need open door. Duppy can walk through wall. Huh? Patrick Bailey is the first person to make we know say the lawyer, the attorney of the Prime Minister, are the first person to make we know say Duppy no only can walk through wall, Duppy can fire bullet and Duppy can wield knife in a very angry state. Ask Orlando Terry Long. In Orlando, tell them how vile Duppy is when you take Duppy man. Orlando Terry Long. Tell them so when you take Duppy man, how Duppy can get vile, wield knife and gun. And Duppy don't need for broke window or door for get in, said Patrick Bailey. But this director of public prosecution, this corrupt woman, helped to cover up that crime. Just like how Paula Llewellyn helped to cover up James Robertson's crime. The James Robertson sitting in our parliament. And Labour flaunt the moral code around with a sitting prime minister, with a whole tirade of criminal investigation fall right down in Ireland. The Prime Minister have peach, apple, plum, guinea, and pear. But the Prime Minister can't go tell you where you get the pear and the peach from. Can't tell you where you get the rest from. And over hoof a fence you jump over Prime Minister. Because that's what it suggests, Prime Minister. You're jumping over fence and broken kitchen. That's why you cannot account for what you have. Because over fence you jump and a people kitchen window you go through. So you can't account for the mango them what you have in your bag. Come on, go to the palm tree. And you don't have mango tree. But all of this shows the credibility of the entire Jamaica Labour Party. And that's why the entire fleet got to go. Because nobody has credibility at the moment. Nobody is reading the mood of the country at the moment. Nobody is listening to the people. The government and its cahoots rather for push back, and every talk we talk, them tell the older we say we are PNP. Because as gone to Andrew Holness and in cahoots, none of us have an independent voice out here anymore. None of us have the right to assess the governance and the leadership what the country elect. We are being asked to walk blindly. Behind who though? Walk blindly behind who? So JLP don't run around and use the moral code about crime. Neither is PNP, because none of them don't have the reputation to stand up in front of it, because we know both parties have had their fair share of interaction with criminal elements. Both of them have them garrison, both of them have them dance, both of them have them gunman. And nothing new to none away. But for the JLP to be using it playing politics, it's quite a nasty piece of work, given that the Prime Minister at the moment sitting is embezzled in fraud, scamming, conspiracy, tax evasion, racketeering. The Prime Minister is involved in a lot. When people can just turn up a cash point and drop money into the Prime Minister's account, when your Prime Minister can open empty bank account over the wash pan company we're leeching a run. Because just like P. Diddy, just like other P. Diddy alone commit all of these offenses and these crimes, and Andrew alone, they've been assisted. They've been aided and abetted. People turn a blind eye to them. And this is what the Jamaica Labour Party is doing at the moment. No credibility. And this shows me that the party has fallen short of everything. Because when an entire party is prepared to put all behind a damaged leader, a leader that has been damaged in the eyes of the public, even in the eyes of some JLP supporters. And everybody think that it is the best thing to throw my support against such a tainted person. It tells you that they have no ambition for the future. They are willing to face a collapse, because it's not like they don't see it happening. I mean, even them friend Cliff Hughes is telling them. But because what we have at the moment is a dog-eat-dog situation where all of them are battling. All of them are battling for the little power and perks that come with what they have at the moment. But not looking that they are destroying the party in a way worse than how Eddie Siaga leadership kept the party out of power for quite some long time. I mean, they are not remembering history. But let them friend tell them one more time again.
No, sir.
Yes. Well, I hope your party is hearing you, Yeah, because they seem like
I wonder, they listen to your program, but I really wonder if them know where really I take this. And the fire that must be
a cool breeze. I often draw on the experience. You will remember. You remember after it was either the 1997 or 2000. It was 2001 general election when it was close. I think the PNP won with 34 and the JLP got 26 seats. It was either 97 or 2000, 2002 or 2001 election.
Yeah, I remember the close. There's a close election. I mean, I'm going to tell me, remember the date good, but
right.
Remember, yeah.
And you remember who was the Prime Minister at the time? PJ
Patterson.
Right. And you remember what he did? He took out Maxine Henry Wilson and the late Paul Robertson out of the cabinet and tell them, go to PNP headquarters, go organize the party.
Yes, I remember clearly.
Yes, to go win the election because the party had clearly, been losing it.
Yeah, and they were falling behind.
They were falling behind. Yes?
Yeah.
No. I don't see that happening here with this Labour Party. Everybody want in a government. And nobody and them not seem to understand, say, you can't be in a government if Belmont Road run down and not now go on a Belmont Road and you not take care of the mother, the party. They not seem to understand it that sooner rather than later there will be no government because the mother starve, want milk, food. Yeah? They not seem to understand it, and the PNP gets it. The PNP knows that without a viable, clicking party, there is no chance of being in government. Yeah? They don't seem to understand it. Everybody look for themselves in a government. And I realize, say, you left the party, nobody no want to give up ministerial position and the car and the whatever. Yeah? For to take care of Belmont.
All is mine right now.
Exactly.
Come out, I'm whatever. Go out, brother, come out, and then you can go back.
Yes. Yes. So, make them stay there. Yes, as you said, fire their must still and think a cool breeze.
Remember me tell you this today, the 26th day of September. Yeah? Prime Minister, better, you see that little thing now when in can call the election when he's ready, and better stretch it out a little bit past September.
In need the time.
No matter what Mark Golding I go say.
In need the time.
Stretch it out past September next year.
Yes.
Fix where you fix.
Mm-hmm.
You hear me?
Yes.
The Bible says if you go to the byways and edges, you need to go out there.
As a broadcaster here, so Cliff should have pointed out that the Prime Minister constitutionally cannot go beyond the 3rd of September 2025 because the last general election was September 2nd or 3rd, 2020. Them just celebrate them 4th year of them second term, September Ghana. So constitutionally, Andrew cannot go beyond September. Will or could Andrew create scenarios that would allow him to suspend the Constitution, therefore postponing the election? You might never know, because what we're dealing with is a crooked, narcissistic government.
Them talking about Mark Golding the campaign for 3 years. That is true. He's campaigning.
Yes.
And he's winning.
Yes. Yes.
People listening to him.
Yes.
Because you know what we love? Let me tell you, you see when we watch the people in Parliament where they used to fling pen and beat up and cut each other and fling book and tear up paper.
Mm-hmm.
That is where Jamaican people like to see. That sort of action. Mm-hmm. So when the PNP get up and say, you can't file all the lawsuit, me a lawyer too. Sometimes it's not, you can't just, but the humble have something most make the humble have sometimes dead be hungry. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that happened to the JP. Them are humble make. JP going up power all the way, go fix things.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
PNP go in there and make sure say everybody love them.
Yes.
And I experience me talk from.
Oh. Yes.
You hear me?
So make the labor rights and stay there and build up the NIR and build it up. And
build-
them other one come spend it for them.
Come spend it and make sure that Jamaican people love them.
Exactly.
You hear me? That is another way of running with it.
Yes.
So the NIR is nice now that you can go buy bus and buy truck and whatever. What you think are going to happen? 5 years after or 3 years after, when you come out of power, when you stop, boom, run down back and borrow money. Because guess what? We have it and we take it for granted. Yeah? People say them not live in a road, so you can make highway, them not live a highway, they want money in that man. No, sir.
Yes. Well, I hope your party is hearing you, you know. Yeah, because they seem like
Before we get to Andrew and his frivolous lawsuit, we're going to be joined tonight by 2 mayors and a councillor. We will first be joined by Councillor English, then Mayor English, then Mayor Matts, and Councillor Relicent will close the interview.
Members of Parliament for Western Centamos, Mr. James Robertson. Members of Parliament for Eastern Centamos, Mrs. Michelle Charles. My fellow councillors, ladies and gentlemen, and citizens of the wonderful parish, good afternoon. I stand before you today humbled and honored to be your mayor. This is not just a victory for me, but for all of us who believe in community prosperity and unity. As your mayor, I pledge to serve each of you with dedication, dignity, and integrity. Together, we will work to address the challenges facing our parish to build a brighter future for our generation to come.
Could you repeat what you were saying?
Mr. McKenzie is suggesting that there's a certain level of partisanry on the part of how you allocate certain benefits at the municipal level.
Mr. McKenzie cannot come to this on this platform and say anything like that. What I have done is what he was practicing when he was the mayor. When he was the mayor and he gets the funding from the ministry, he shares it in a 100% basis. He gives the JLP 50% and they take 100%. And it is evident right now that is exactly what I'm doing.
Hold on. That math's not sound right. If you get $100 million, you take 100% and get the PNP 50?
Get half of it.
No, that's not. No. Something
that's what he was doing.
No, but you can't have 150% or something, sir. How much would he take and how much would he give the PNP?
If he gets $10 to share for the councillors.
Yes.
If the PMP would get 100 or $50 out of $10, and the JLP will get $25.
Oh, hold on. Mr. Mayor.
Yes.
Arithmetic not right. You get $10. You get
all right. Let me break it.
So you get $10 to spend, right? Total.
And the JLP get $5.
50%, yes?
Yes.
And the PNP and the JLP and the PNP would get how much?
The PNP gets, whenever time the PNP gets any money, whether $20 or $10, if they get $20, the JLP get $10.
Oh, so
if they get $10, the JLP get $5.
So it's 50-50 share it?
Right.
Oh.
Ramon Fisher, who is unavailable, absent, I happy for this opportunity to greet you today at the 2023 graduation at this School of Excellence. Graduation is a milestone of all levels. For the reason I feel truly honored to be here at all wonderful occasion, annual graduation ceremony at the Old Harbour Primary School Institute of Excellence. It is great joy I am here today to assure you all graduates that I know you face a rough task throughout your preparation, your primary school year, especially during the pandemic, and with all the preparation for PEP. But I have no doubt the series of scare events you endure during the period has only made you stronger and more resilient for the road.
So that's the state where we country in a year. There you have 2 mayors and a councillor, policy maker at your local government level. Yeah, at them on elect. At them on elect for the future. So how then we don't expect any better from over JLP than what's going on over there now? If that's what we're electing. People who cannot communicate with us. People who can read to save them life. How do they understand policy papers? How do they even contribute to a policy paper? But they're responsible for making your policies at local government level. They're responsible for representing you. That's why them own the no aggression and violence. Because when you're electing members of parliament, and there's a lot more of them, you know. Darrell Vaza and Vaz constituency full of them. Because they like them kickback. If you're in the kickback galangin, you can't get a council seat with Darrell Vaza and Vaz. The racketeering where them are used with constituencies run them criminal organization. We have a Dr. Chang who's using our Minister of National Security to run his criminal organization, to import illegal guns and ammunition. The sitting Minister of National Security come up time and time in a WikiLeaks document. We have a Minister of Transgender and Sport. Twice, Babs rent car and gun give bad man to go kill off them one another. These are the people who we have sitting legislating. Right now, the Prime Minister's wife in a court over land violation. So to be quoting the moral argument, leave it, JLP, leave it. You know so much people who no call hit pan and get away with it. Who no all kill them brazenly in a Patrick Bailey house and get away with it. You can't silence all away. You have to go kill till you can't find nothing more to kill. But you cannot silence all of us. Somebody have to speak the truth. Somebody have to stand up against the barbarity and the barbarianism of this government. Jamaica, it's time to stand up against tyranny. This should be the last straw we want to see Andrew Holness do. This coming up ought to be the last straw. It is dangerous.
Given by the lawyers for this judicial review?
I think a better question might be, what are not some of the reasons? Because the lawyers and Mr. Holness have thrown the entire kitchen sink at this application to apply for judicial review. He is alleging, and just to make the point, that judicial review is when you ask the court to exercise its supervisory power over, in this case, the Integrity Commission. So they want the Integrity Commission, they want the Supreme Court to make a number of orders and declarations. Essentially, they want the report struck out, except for the part in which the Director of Corruption Prosecution says that no charges should be laid against Mr. Holness. They want declarations that the Integrity Commission acted outside of its powers, that it acted unlawfully, a whole bunch of declarations. And they're saying this on the basis of the fact that they're saying that the Integrity Commission acted unfairly in relation to its investigation into the statutory declaration. They're saying there was illegality here. They're saying that the Integrity Commission acted ultra vires, means outside of its statutory powers. And they're also alleging breaches of constitutional rights. They're saying the Integrity Commission breached privacy laws, breached the data protection law. They're also very, very interesting. I don't think I've seen this before. What we're seeing here is a prime minister, a legislator, asking the court to strike out Section 14(5) of the Corruption Prevention Act, which is a section that establishes the offense of illicit enrichment.
Oh my goodness. So we have so much to get through, but I want to go back to that earlier story where the opposition attempted to move a motion of no confidence, and one of the reasons given is that the matter is sub judice. What can you tell us about that?
I tell you something. I generally think that the sub judice rule, in terms of how we interpret in Jamaica, meaning before the court, therefore you shouldn't discuss it, that the whole thing needs to be revisited. I think it's a way of shutting down legitimate discussion. Having said that, I actually agree with Deputy Speaker Clark, not on the basis of the fact that it's sub judice per se, but on the basis of the separation of powers. The Parliament and the courts are also always very careful not to seem to be intruding on each other's jurisdiction. And in a case where a matter now is before the court, it's inevitable that if there is a debate on that no confidence motion in respect to Mr. Holness and how he acted in relation to this investigation, they are going to get into discussing matters that the court is going to be considering, and I can understand that the Parliament would want to steer clear of that.
And all of this is also happening at a time when the commissioners of the Integrity Commission will face the Joint Select Committee looking at the amendments to the Integrity Commission Act 2017. What this now means for the discussions tomorrow?
Well, I did read earlier that the meeting had been pushed back perhaps to sometime next week. But as you know, Janella, we were hoping that the commissioners would now come and explain what they did in relation to this report, why it came out, how it came out, you know, why they didn't bring in the FID and tax admin before. All those questions we were hoping would have been answered. But I think with this matter now being before the court, I am going to go out on a limb and say it's almost inevitable that the commissioners are going to refuse to answer any questions in relation to the report because, as you said, the matter is now before the court. They're now going to have to defend all of this.
First of all,
this is one of Andrew Holness' most dangerous move in recent time. And it's a move to silence Parliament. That is dangerous, especially using the court to do it. The other dangerous part of it, our Prime Minister or legislations have now become cherry picking. If the Prime Minister agrees with it, it's okay and it's constitutional. If it stands in the way of the Prime Minister's crime, it's unconstitutional. Can't have a government like this. And a sort figure. When you hear they speak about the rule of law, it means all of us are subjected to the rule of law, even though that's not quite true. Because the way the law applies to the rich and famous, it's not how it applies to those in the ghetto. The way how it applies to politicians, if it does, it's not the way it applies to the common man. So, in teaching, them tell you say all of us is subjected to the rule of law. But in reality, no, it's not, because of systematic corruption, people can behave and act above the law. And our politicians are a clear example of behaving and acting above the law. Everett Warmington behavior in public was a prime example of that. Colonel Charles Jr. behavior in our parliament is a prime behavior of that. Andrew Holness's behavior when it comes to governance and frameworks of accountability, it shows that behavior. That's why you see this conflict in our parliament from Darwin to step down and Andrew give him wife the speaker. When the Nigel report, it was the same blunder over and over with procedure, Diddy, dance, and all over the place. Tell us all sorts of lies. The amount of lies these politicians tell us in our parliament, that alone is something where you can lose your job for under the Westminster system. Just lying to the people, especially in the House of Representatives or the House of Commons, whichever you want to call them. Lie deliberately to the people and get away with it. And we see the same behavior now that it is the report about the Prime Minister. Juliet recused herself and then Eli give a shoddy show of because of sub judice rule, we can't hear it, and all sort of thing. And then Juliet wait until the People's National Party walked out of Parliament. Then she come back on the podium and she said this.
And myself, particularly as Speaker, have repeated on many occasions that things need to get to the Parliament with adequate time so that we can read and we can ensure we follow the proper procedures. We were in fact notified by email that a motion would come, but it didn't come until just before I got to Parliament. And it does take some time to review and ensure that motions are properly laid. A signed copy of the motion came to me at the desk when Member Paulwell came to the desk during the sitting of the Parliament. And I just came out for a moment a while ago and I note the opposition walking out. I was coming back to tell them I'd gone out because I was just completing my review so that they could go ahead and debate if they so choose. However, even though they heard as much, they continued to walk out.
Oh, take that explanation and shove it up your arsenal, love. Really shove it. Because that is the game we're going to keep playing. But Labour is running out of game at the moment. Them play themselves out of them very own game. I don't know if any of you was at Drive Time London this evening, but we're asking some questions of our Jamaica dancehall entertainer, particularly those who have a close connection to DJ Khaled. The whole Diddy story, the tentacle is getting wider and wider. More and more victim is coming forward. More celebrity name a call. More people sit down a quake in a them boot. The question though, DJ Khaled name come out broad and large. Publicists, in particular this publicist from the industry, not only him is speaking out, but I'm using him because he's a publicist from the industry. And he's alleging Khaled homosexuality. Khaled, Jake, Rick Ross, and others. But I'm zooming in on Khaled because Khaled have got a long-standing relationship with a lot of our prominent dancehall figures. Hollywood is silent. London is silent. It is getting to the point where we ought to start questioning or entertainers in the music industry, because hip hop and reggae is not far from each other. And we do know that a lot of our high profile entertainers have a close connection with these people. So we're not going to allow them to stay silent. We're hoping that Buju Banton, Sizzler, Capleton, Movado, Beanie Man, Bounty, all of these people who've got that relationship and connection with DJ Khaled, with Jay-Z, with P. Diddy, these people need to come out and either denounce them, support them, or disassociate themselves. But una now go get away with the silence, because everybody know reggae and hip hop to always stand against homosexuality and promote homophobia, if that's the correct phrase. So there's silence on this matter when they're high profile, when it's all within the upper echelons of the whole entertainment industry. They shouldn't be so silent and get away with it. All sorts of accusations are being thrown out there in relation to the Diddy scandal. More and more victims are coming forward. We have a missing women and missing children problem that plague our society. We already heard the US police say they have evidence that Jamaica police is involved in human trafficking. Coming out of the whole Diddy case, we are aware that there are alleged sex trafficking and human trafficking offenses, as well as sacrifice argument coming out now on the web. Is there a connection with our dancehall entertainers and this US dark society in the entertainment industry? We mustn't be shy, we mustn't be afraid to ask those questions. We mustn't hold people up too high on pedestal so we can't question them. Jamaicans always use a phrase, show me your company and I tell you who you are. More and more it's coming out clear now that to get a music contract, to get an award, to get ahead in the business, you have to give your body or your pokey to get there. So we want to know if our entertainers them have to swap out something, sell them soul or sell them whole to get where them get to. It's just a natural question to ask at the moment of the entertainment industry. Based on all the revelations that are coming out, especially of these men in hip hop. If hip hop so shit up, could it be that reggae is also shit up as well? We're not afraid to ask the question. They're not beyond reproach. They're not beyond selling out themselves. They are not beyond the demonic behavior of what we see hip hop is turning into. So all of these Jamaica entertainers, what we know say, them and Khalid wrap up for the years. Them need to come out and either support him, denounce him, distance themselves, or give some explanation. Make we know what Khalid by Fauno wanna swap figure to no self pan record deal, album, and all of them something they get award. We want to know what wanna get up the ladder. Because we know is learning that a talent get you there. You have to have batty or pokey to get there. Some farmer all bring you there. Which is it? It's a question that ought to be asked across the entertainment industry. I don't know see what going over the internet. I don't know see the whole heap of things that are coming out. So if DJ Khalid name a call, so we want to know what the Jamaica entertainment scene involvement with Khalid, how much people from the Jamaica entertainment scene sell themselves out to Khalid, to P. Diddy, and to Jay-Z. We ought to ask those questions because this is a broad and nasty ring. It involves human trafficking and sex slave and all sort of thing, human sacrifice. Why Jamaica shouldn't be asking questions? Or why Jamaica think this is a blunder too far from them? What if our missing children and women all get caught up into these trafficking? This question to ask. Hollywood, London, and Jamaica on a not stay so silent and get away. Not gonna stay so silent and get away with it. A Jamaica may load me so silent because I see Nigeria question for them artists, them hard on social media. But this body protecting dance hall, because when a poor man picnic, when a gully queen, everybody can run out and create a song. Now that it's Khalid, Rick Ross, Jake, Jay-Z, and P. Diddy, the whole of people them were dance hall wrap up with, everybody is silent. We need a Me Too in the Jamaica industry. Don't go on like abusers and sell out. Conspirators, aid and abettors. Don't in the Jamaica industry too. It's a global empire. This industry is a global empire. They all work together. They all have a pact to control us. Even when they themselves are being terrorized and abused to come in front of us and perform for us to make us feel happy and good about them. But whole heap of them come off a stage and them go cry or go take drugs for cope. Because it's a dangerous world. Because when we did sit down out here and a thing to say, them just get there so because them talented and at the mercy of God can them through. No, no, no. One of the whole, me don't know which one, or one of hit. So we need to ask Jamaica entertainer them. Bujo Banton, Capleton, Movado, Beanie Man, Bounty Killer. Oh no get there. Oh no colleague a friend. Oh no get there. What did you have to give up? What did you have to sell? Won't have to give up and won't have to sell to get there. Because I can't the American one them I walk and skin out themselves so. How did you all get there? You hear what Cat said to you? It's all going down in 2024. You will all be catching hell. The silence will not save you. You have to act like a P. Diddy one commit all of these crimes. The hundreds of victims will come forward and if a P. Diddy one abuse them. P. Diddy get whole heap of help from him celebrity friend them, him staff, him inner circle, the FBI, New York police, Miami police, California police, LA police, the justice system, the executive them in the music industry and the film industry, those in parliament and in government, whole heap of people guilty of this scandal that is brewing. Whole heap of people guilty of this scandal that is brewing. Oprah name call in the Jeffrey Epstein scandal. Oprah name a call again. Naomi Campbell name call in the Jeffrey Epstein scandal. Naomi Campbell name a call again. There's a load of people out here who has been protecting and assisting this industry for quite some time. But little by little, hold on will catch fire. Little by little, the whole on will catch fire out the road. Yeah. But reggae is no exception and ought to face question about all of what is unfolding and if they support it because of them friend them in it. But they're all very, very silent. And me for one, now allow one to just stay silent. So because this is not just a one-man band round corner this. So this is a systematic behavior by people who have a lot of money, people who have a lot of power, influence, and use all those three to exert control over people who are being socially disadvantaged and disenfranchised. Hell, I catch the whole of on. Hell, I catch the whole out. Thank you all very much for being here this evening with us on the People's Point of View. We'll read the mood of the media what is publishing in the media, and we'll see what time. If we're coming out tomorrow, it may just be one program, but keep your eye on Global TV tomorrow, as we will come out to continue the discussion, because our country is at a place where you cannot turn a blind eye to what's going on. You really cannot turn a blind eye to what is going on. Our democracy is at risk. And if your democracy is at risk and you stand aside and do nothing, when you end up into a dictatorship, you cannot complain about anything. You have to just live with it. As I said, this is and this should be the Prime Minister's last straw. This should be the last attack on the nation by the Prime Minister. This use of the court to shut down Parliament or to silence, question, or stifle debate, it's unacceptable and ought to be the final attack on our democracy by this government. Thank you very much for being here with us this evening. Hope you have an enjoyable weekend. Keep your eye on the channel tomorrow. We will come out at a chosen time. You know, upon weekend, we don't really keep up to where weekday time. We just come out at any time. But keep your eyes out and about tomorrow. And remember to like and share the program, as well as subscribe. And if you feel like donating, you can hit the link in the top of the chat. Thank you very much for spending the week with me. I hope you have a joyful weekend. Thank you and good night from the Global Television Group.